Good evening, everybody. Good night, everybody, and welcome to the 11th hour. Give a few folks a minute to log in tonight, but in the meantime, my name is Dwayne Hirsch Network Real Estate, brokered by eXp Realty. I'm also an executive board member of the Small Business Advocacy Council, and I am also the host of the Hyde Park Happy Hour, which you can attend tomorrow night, free of charge, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Hyatt Place at 5225 South Harper. Tomorrow night, we're going to be featuring the Dearborn Realtors Board. So if you're in the real estate business, you're an agent, an investor, you're going to want to know about what we're talking about at the event tomorrow night. So the Dearborn Realtors Board will be there kind of talking about the history of the board and a board that was really set up to protect and level the playing field for Black people who were looking to buy homes a very long time ago. And the organization and its message and its work has survived. So Courtney and Selena Jones are going to come out and talk about that. And then I also have the queen of real estate, Lenore Sherman, who's coming out to talk about project management. Now, she's an awesome sister. She does real estate, and she's a general contractor, and she also does property and project management. So when you go out and you take out a loan for a property and you want to invest, you want to flip this property, you want to get into the game, there's a lot of pitfalls and a lot of things that come along with that they don't necessarily teach you about in the class. You don't always learn about in the books. It comes from real world experience. And tomorrow night, she'll give you a peek into that real world experience so you can really understand how to manage a project like that if that's what you decide to do, or if you're doing it now maybe and are having some challenges with contractors and with that entire process. And really just keeping it real, that's where money is being won and lost in that game, is on contractors. If you're a real estate investor and you're flipping properties or rehabbing, renovating properties, for whatever reason, contractors are having a good contractor is almost more important than the price you pay for the property, because a bad contractor have paying a hell of a lot more down the road one way or the other. So anyway, tomorrow night's going to be great. And we're going to debut a new product called the Property Tax Fox. This is a system where, you know how everyone is talking about the fact that there's a disparity between the way that property taxes have been assessed across Cook County. We had Cook County, the new incoming Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi out at the Hyde Park Happy Hour a couple months ago talking about and confirming that that was a reality. Now, there's a gentleman tomorrow night that we're going to talk to who created a technology that basically you could plug in the address and it'll tell you what your property taxes are and what they should be. And if the amount that they are is higher than what it should be, it will allow you to go right into that system and file an immediate tax appeal. So you'll find out the details of that tomorrow night and how beneficial that is, not only to you as a homeowner, but as real estate agents. We encounter situations a lot of times where we deal with properties. If the property taxes are too high, that can kill a deal. So loan officers, come out. This is going to be very big for loan officers and people operating in real estate in Cook County. So that's very important. So tonight, on the 11th hour, I tend to want to come up and talk to, it started from the spirit of wanting to talk to other entrepreneurs who are up at night working and getting it in and doing something meaningful to try to drive their efforts forward. And so tonight I wanted to talk about what it is that's keeping us up at night. What's keeping you up at night? I have my reasons for being up late sometimes. I typically don't go to bed until about 1, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. A lot of times 2 in the morning. My aim is to wake up between 5:30 and 6. Not always the case. And then some nights, I have those nights like everybody else that I can't sleep. Now, to keep it 100, I'm not working all the time until 2 o'clock on the nose and then going to sleep. I have to take an hour or so and watch a little TV, a nice show that I like, or do something to kind of pull my head out of the activity. Because what keeps me up at night is the speed of business sometimes. It's the amount of things that are going on that you got coming tomorrow, the opportunities, the meetings, the events. So tomorrow I have an executive committee meeting with the SBAC, then the happy hour, got to make sure everything's in line, the food's there, all these other things. So those are the things that'll keep me up tonight. But what's keeping you up at night? On the downside, I'll share something with you. And I'll tell you that the things that used to keep me up at night were things that ultimately led me to know the depth of my procrastination with things. Business issues, calls I didn't make, emails I didn't send, things that I could have done at the point of attack, but I just kind of temporarily said, I'll do that tonight, or I'll do it later, and then something else comes up. And then late at night, you're thinking, oh shit, I didn't send that email, I didn't do this, I didn't call back Mr. So-and-so. And now you're up at night because now you're, in a sense, trying to mentally make up for your screw up because we procrastinated. We didn't attack things when we should have. So my encouragement to you tonight, my first encouragement to you tonight is to attack. Whatever it is that comes up, if you feel like, hey, I want to call you, Dwayne, because I want to book a coffee and consultation with you to talk about how to build and grow my business, which you can do by going to DwayneHirsch.com. But if you say that to me, let's put it on the calendar now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Let me know right now. So then it's like, oh man, I meant to call you. I meant to say something to you, because other people's lives are moving. So you have to stay moving at a pace that's going to be beneficial to you, because everybody else is moving right along. Some of us are up at night because of other unresolved issues in our families, with our children, our spouses, our loved ones, whatever you may have. And that's kind of the only time at night where you get to kind of deal with that. My suggestion to you on that would be that you take the time that you need and really suck it up, grow a pair, suck it up, and attack the things that are unresolved inside your world. We all have unresolved issues. I have unresolved issues right now that I have to continue to attack, and you should too. Attack them. Make sure that those are not the things that stand as obstacles in your way when your time comes and your day and everything you've worked for is ready. But here comes some unresolved issue fucking with you and destroying your whole situation or threatening it, if nothing else. So deal with your unresolved issues. Fellas, if you got issues with your children or the women in your life, or and even the conflicts sometimes we have between each other as men and brothers, let's resolve those issues and let's get back down to business. Let's get to where we can squarely focus on business. Because some of us, we like to avoid those issues. We just we put things constantly to the side. Now, I'm a guy that prefers to work. I don't like to deal with personal issues, particularly personal emotional issues, during the business day. During the regular part of the day, I have a hard time sitting on the phone dealing with that for 30 minutes an hour. It'll drive me absolutely nuts. But at some point, if I don't deal with that thing and push it to the side, it's going to hit me right when I least want it to. And so you're going to have to really, really dig deep sometimes and just deal with that stuff. You don't want to deal with it. We like the comfort of being builders, right? We like seeing every brick be laid and go up. We like to see our progress, and that makes us sometimes want to run from the things that are less productive in our minds. So sometimes the idea of attacking your issues with people in your life, attacking your issues with, maybe it's your paperwork, the bills or whatever, if we don't attack those issues and leave them unresolved, it's always going to return to us as fate. And to quote that properly, I was told years ago that unresolved matters that are left unresolved return to us as fate. So what we think is bad luck or bad energy is really just shit we should have got done that we didn't. Things we should have been paying attention to. So if I walk into a meeting tomorrow and I'm totally unprepared for a meeting with a client tomorrow, that could be because today I was procrastinating on my study. I let other things get in the way. My priorities got screwed up. But that's why it takes a very, very strict focus to do this. So I want you to think about this. I used to work at a pallet factory in Bedford Park years ago, and our work day was 8 hours straight, boom to boom. And at this job, this was before cell phones, no internet. Well, no, wasn't no internet then, no cell phones. So when you worked 8 hours, and that was it. You didn't have, you used payphone on a break to call your family or something, but that was it. And so you had to give your entire day to your employer. When I worked in the auto industry, even during the age of cell phones and internet, that job was so intense that you never had time to deal with personal affairs. So my challenge for you here is that if you had been in corporate America and you have been working a job and you've been behind a desk, a cube, whatever that is, but your speed of labor was so intense that you did not get an opportunity to deal with those issues that got in the way of your employment for other people. Do not let those things get in the way of your productivity. You have to be willing to give yourself the same thing that you gave Mr. Talley for 8, 10, 16, 20 hours a day or whatever that is. In the auto industry, sometimes we literally work 16-hour days, 4, 5, 6 days straight. And that was a very taxing business, and only one day off, Sunday. So now you got that one day to deal with all your unresolved issues and you burnt out. So that was a life filled with procrastination because you couldn't get anything done on a personal level, especially if you didn't have someone that was taking care of those matters for you. So a part of our lives as entrepreneurs is built around putting our life at a point and aligning our lives in a way that will allow us to be more productive and more focused. So if you don't want and don't have time for family matters to get in the way, make sure that you got somebody that people can call on outside of yourself to, if they need help, if they need information, whatever the case may be, so that you can stay focused. See, here's what happens to us all the time, right? When people know that you work for yourself, they treat you as if time is all your own and you can do whatever the hell you want with no consequence. And it's not till you become more mature as an entrepreneur that you realize that's entirely wrong. Because here's what happens, right? So I live in Bronzeville. I live 19 blocks from my mother's house. If I'm at the Sip and Save on 43rd, I'm 15 blocks or so from her house. 7 minutes to get there. Now, if she calls me and needs me to do something simple, most of the time I want to comply, this is mom or whatever, but I have to now weigh out how important that is, right? Because what it takes me 10 minutes, 20 minutes to do for her, I'm adding the time of the ride back, and the time that it takes me to come back and get into a zone where I can re-engage my productivity. A lot of that for us is like a zone. You can't just pop down, work, get up, go do stuff. You have to sit down and find a way to get back into a space, especially if you are in a paperwork mode and you got to be intense writing proposals and things like that. That can be tough. So you cannot have these intermittent interruptions in that space. Facebook and social media alone is enough of a distraction, right? So if you got your computer set up for notifications, I had to learn how to turn notifications off, because notifications can be good because, yeah, I want to know if it's breaking news, but I also don't need to be distracted by the breaking news. So maybe I need to turn that off so I can stay focused and then pick a time during the day when I can filter back through news and information that I need to be aware of. And usually if it's something that important, somebody will send me a message and make sure I'm aware of it, or they'll share a story with me directly, or do something to let me know, hey, something is going on that's worth your attention, because sometimes we just need to be dug in, guys. So when I ask the question, what's keeping you up at night? Right now, I'm telling you what's keeping me up at night is the speed of business, working to be more and more productive. You know, I have a very important new client that I'm taking on that hopefully I'll get an opportunity to tell you all about later, but it's something that's very exciting. But it's taking me into a little bit of less chartered territory and a little bit more of an uncomfortable space in terms of the way I operate, but it's a great opportunity. And I intend to go after it that way because it's just who the hell I am. I can do whatever it is that I choose to do. Nothing is impossible for me. It wasn't impossible when I was working at that factory or at the McDonald's before that, or at the car dealership after that, or the mortgage company, or anywhere I've ever been. I've always succeeded in the work. But I succeed better without distraction. So the thing that keeps me up at night now cannot be, and what cannot keep you up at night now cannot be the unresolved material, the undone things, the procrastinating, the things that are left unresolved because of your procrastination on even the simplest level. Sometimes, anybody, you can, by show of hands, if you've ever had a moment where you woke up late at night and the idea, the answer to a problem just kind of popped in your head and woke you up out of your sleep. Yeah, you have to get up and write that stuff down. Those things keep you up at night, but that's what should be keeping you up at night, are things that make you productive, creative, and prepare you for your eventual advancement. So with that, I'll just say good night. I'll tell you to make sure you stop by the Hyatt Park Happy Hour. That's tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Hyatt Place Hotel, 5225 South Harper. It's a free event. Be free food, a lot of great people there. Again, it's the Dearborn Realtors Board with Courtney and Senina Jones, Lenore Sherman talking about contractors, and the Property Tax Fox product debuts to real estate agents and loan officers from wherever you may come from. So we hope to see you there. And don't make the 11th hour your last hour. If you are going to stay up tonight, stay up doing something productive. Stay up handling an unresolved matter, fixing something that you didn't fix earlier. Make it productive and make it great. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.